Hello, folks. I'm Detroit Miracle. Yes, and indeed. Right now, I am here to review the rest of the Skeleton Crew episodes. I believe I reviewed the first few or several. Now I'm here to review the rest of them leading all the way to the end of it. Well, okay, now in me watching the second half of the series, I found that it was a thrill ride and a good adventure for kids and children. It was dangerous though. It wasn't like a safe adventure at all, but it was nevertheless an adventure. The kids got together, they were flying throughout space, going to different worlds, and then they hooked up with a sinister type of character, a pirate, a crook, a killer. And then he sort of hustled them in a way that they would believe it because children would be more trusting, of course. And this guy was a known pirate scumbag. And come to be known about this character is he's a force sensitive guy, meaning he could tap into the force powers. It's something in one of those episodes, the later ones, that had me a bit puzzled. If he could tap into the force, then why would he allow himself to be taken hostage? Some might say he was trying to appeal to the rest of the people to get them on his side, but he took a big risk nevertheless. The guy didn't have a quarter most of the time, and he was like the lowest of the lowest. So his luck was bad too. So they might have instantly killed him on the spot, but nevertheless, he was able to talk himself back into their good graces. And they were the pirate clans that he was associated with. But he was captured and placed under a type of summary death sentence. And then they gave him a chance to speak or to say his final words, and he came up with a good hustle. But it wasn't a hustle because turns out it was really a vast treasure on that world at Adam. Yeah, it is supposedly a major treasury world for the Republic. Like, think of it as a major central bank world. That's their main priority, is to increase the currencies of it and mint the coin in gold as well. So that made it even more valuable. So a mint coin might be 3 times as much as a regular coin in that galaxy of a particular denomination. Yeah, it might work like that. And if you make it out of a precious metal, then the value goes up. So this world at Adam was printing treasures of that. They had at least 1,000 vaults filled with treasures consisting of gold-plated, minted New Republic or Old Republic coins, that is. They trace back to the Old Republic, and that world was shielded from prospective treasure robbers for so long that even the Empire was unaware of that world and its vast treasures. Some people think that the Emperor was able to build the Death Star because he had no money issues. Well, in the beginning, he sort of had money issues, so he had to find ways to use slave labor to build it. He had to falsely incarcerate people and send them to prison to build it because his resources wasn't unending where he could pay a huge population of persons to build it. So he had to do things that was slick and devious. So, well, that's a great Civ tale, but I'm going to go back to the adventure film, which is Skeleton Crew. I'm going to get to the heart of the matter. I thought that the acting amongst the children was good. The adventure was a thrill ride with dangers and fun all throughout. I like that they showed different planets. So they expanded the Star Wars galaxy by officially showing new worlds. And I know people have given Disney a bad rap for their apparent reasons, but Disney did give the fans a whole bunch of new planets. If you count up the whole Disney Star Wars makeup, how many planets did they go to, new planets that were not seen in canon or on Legends in the live action? And then I know if you count all the fan films that are out there, of course, they consist of a great number of that as well. So, that's a good outlook. Okay, the Skeleton Crew has gotten a bad rap because apparently not too many people have watched it. They were probably turned off by the Acolyte, so they didn't bother to give it a chance. But it's a fun kids film series with plenty of adventures. They touch on the Force slightly with that pirate dude that turns out to be a Force sensitive. But they touch really on the financial stability of the old Republic. Because if you couldn't gauge the measure of wealth that the old Republic had, then you could look at that treasure world as an example of its immense wealth. Yeah, so the Skeleton Crew touched on like eternal economics within the old Republic, because they were not broke by no long shot. And how many other treasure planets did they have in which were kept secret? So, I like that theme too, the whole treasure search, the whole, economics of the old Republic. Like what would have happened if the rebels could have got a hold of that treasure? What if the Empire would have gotten that treasure? Like they could do a movie with a treasure search. They can have it like, they can make like a what if scenario and have it like both the Rebel Alliance and the Empire are made aware of Anadin and his vast riches. So the thing is, who will get there first? What would be an obstacle to keep them? And then, the Republic is desperate to get that money so that it can overthrow the Empire and restore stability. So they would go through what devious moves would they go through. Like, the Empire would send giant collection ships that can store vast treasures. We know that. They would definitely seize the planet, so it would be fun. It would be interesting to see how the Rebel Alliance would protect that planet or keep the planet for themselves and take the treasure for their own needs. And it would be probably to build new ships, buy ships, have ships build, buy weaponry, and other supplies that is much needed. So with the Skeleton Crew series, they can explore other things within that same scope of things as far as their social economics on a planetary way outside of Skeleton Crew, that is. Yeah, so I'm going to say with the series, I give it an 8, out of 1 through 10. Finally, I give it an 8. Because I would have expected or hoped for something a little bit bigger at the end, but overall it was a great series. Like, I wanted them to explore more, or as far as explaining the planet's history, and like it's so much they left open, but that set up the possibilities for a season 2. So yeah, fans, the Skeleton Crew was good enough to justify a season 2, but the ratings were supposedly low, so the people would have to catch on and start watching it once they found out it was a good enough series. Yeah. Okay, folks. Thanks for hanging out with me on the review. And I'd appreciate it if you give me those likes, comments, and please subscribe to me, Detroit Miracle. Thank you.